Hey YouTube, Turtleags here, bringing you another AFK journey video. I have a very special video featuring Talene and Ludovic, but it won't just be those two heroes. This team that we cooked up recently is actually a very spicy Anti-Eironn team. Basically, the purpose of this video is to showcase the team, explain how it works, and then we'll go ahead and do some playthroughs. We're going to attack basically the strongest Eironn defensive comps in my server, and we'll show you how consistent it is. And people in chat, my friends, you can say hi to YouTube if you'd like. Without further ado, let's go ahead and do the showcase. As you can see here, I'm rank 9 on my server. I actually haven't really been pushing at all in arena seriously, because as you can see here, most of the people in top 20 are either from my guild, the Lucky Guild, or in my alliance, which would be Filth. So, and I have 3 other guilds in my alliance, so there's not many people to attack, and because I only do miss out on maybe like a couple arena coins per day, so I don't really push that hard. However, I am thinking about getting back into top 5, and I think with this team I could seriously do so. Without further ado, let's go ahead and showcase the team. Now we'll go ahead and fight. So this is actually a burial comp, so I can't Alucard. Okay, so we could actually challenge Alucard, who is in top 5. He's running a traditional Eironn comp. I actually don't think this is the best defense. I think that the Damien Haywin variation is better. So this is the team comp that I cooked up. Basically, there's 2 different synergies at play, which are quite powerful. Of course, you have the Ludovic and Talene synergy, but you also have the Talene and Shakir synergy. Now, for those of you guys who are not aware, there's something called faction strategies, where this table or this visual highlights another advantage in this game that you can have, which not many people take advantage of, especially if they're not really playing honor duels. It has to do with the faction, the faction weaknesses and advantages. So when a Mauler hero such as Shakir is attacking a Wilder, such as Eironn, such as Haywin, Arden, Damien, the Mauler hero will do 15% extra damage to the Wilder, and will also take 15% less damage against from the Wilder. And so Shakir ends up taking less damage from Eironn and dealing more damage to Eironn and the other Wilders on the opposing side. And Maulers are neutral against Thorin, which means Thorin isn't going to have any extra advantage against Shakir. So this is quite nice. And what I love about this team is that there's 4 win conditions. You have Shakir, you have Talene, you have Thorin, you have Scarlita. Now, there is just kind of explaining the synergies between Talene and the 2 other heroes. So Ludovic, he has the healing field, which can be quite bursty. He, especially in the beginning of the match, is able to burst heal your allies, and his healing field will actually move over to the group, to basically the weakest ally, and burst healing them, which in this case would be Talene. And this allows Talene to actually ult for a very long time, because according to her ult, let me see. So Talene flies to the designated tile in the center of the battlefield, consuming 12.5% of her max HP and 250 energy per second to shoot a 5-tile flame. Now, consuming 12.5% of her max HP per second is actually pretty insane. You'll see that her HP meter has a tendency to plummet back down to 0, and then she ends up dying as a result of that. However, in combination with Ludovic, particularly an EX10 Ludovic, who, with EX10, he is able to burst heal for even more permanently enhances the Everbloom field upon the first 4 times. It absorbs nutrients, restoring his healing amount by 50%. Its healing amount by 50% per second. What ends up happening is that Talene ends up being in her ultimate state for a very long time. What level EX weapon does Shakir and Ludovic need to work in this comp and why? So Tyron, yesterday when I was showcasing this team with you guys, my Ludovic was only EX5. You can actually watch the previous video titled a comprehensive arena guide, free-to-play and whale edition. That was released yesterday, and at the very end I do showcase this team but with an EX5 Ludovic, which functions just fine. However, I do think that an EX10 Ludovic will provide the healing necessary in order to keep Talene ulting for a very, very long time. We'll actually see how long her ult lasts in these particular showcases. And then Shakir, I do believe that EX10 minimum would be very nice, because at EX10 each non-summoned ally within the looping aura can share the same attack bonus from Wolf's Will. And so this allows an EX10 Shakir makes it so that he's actually buffing his allies. Buff Thorn, buff Talene, heck, even buff Scarlita, so that they have increased damage output. A lot of people don't realize that Shakir, you know, when he enters Wolf mode, not only does he do insane amounts of damage and heal himself, but he also acts as an offensive support, which is really neat. Can you show a good setup with Ludovic without Talene? Yes, I can do that after this video recording. Remind me again, Danny, in a moment. Now, just kind of explaining Talene and Shakir's synergy. What makes Shakir so powerful is that he only needs to ult once to morph into the wolf mode, and then he basically stays in wolf mode until the end of the battle. And what is really nice about Talene is that Talene, when you unlock her EX weapon, Pyre of Renewal, she is able to apply a buff on the frontmost ally, which in this case will be Shakir, making so that Shakir does this flame thing where he's doing additional damage to multiple targets, kind of like the way that Cassidy does when she does the Blessing of Tidal Strength on a blessed ally. Every time that ally attacks, Cassidy does additional follow-up damage. This is the same idea. Talene ends up doing more AoE follow-up damage when she blesses the frontmost ally and the frontmost ally is doing damage. But also the frontmost ally restores HP equal to 25% of their damage dealt. And with how offensive Shakir is, he ends up healing quite a bit of damage. So with the HP healing from Talene's Pyre of Renewal, plus the amount of HP healing that Shakir gains in Wolf mode, let's see. Oh, and actually I just realized with the allies within the range of Lupine Aura get 20% reduced damage taken and increase by 10 haste. So he actually makes your team really offensive. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he also heals himself. Let me double check. Yeah, he gains 25 ranged defense. In wolf form, he's unaffected and gains 30 plus 5 life drain. Yeah, so he does get life drain, which is really nice. Okay, and then kind of to round things out, Thorn is taking half of the damage that Ludovic is taking, because if Ludovic goes down, that is actually a huge problem. So, the combination of Thorn taking half of the damage Ludovic takes, as well as Scarlita shielding while in the air for a certain amount of time. So even if the opposing Thorn does the Thorn cheese, hopefully our team does not succumb to that. Alright, so with enough yapping, let's go ahead and showcase this. so as you can see here, Shakir jumps over and ooh. Okay, that didn't quite work out the way I thought. Ludovic went down really quick. However, we did snag the win, which was quite nice. Okay. Alright, so what happened there? Let me slow it down a little bit. Okay, so it was Shakir against Doran. And then it was Eironn against Eironn. Shakir hopped over. I think Shakir was really really aggroed onto Doran. Oh yeah, the Doran cheese, and then Eironn ulting was enough. Okay, Scarlita went down. Scarlita, let's see. Yeah, took down Doran. Talene took down Eironn. Okay, Shakir retargeted onto Arden. Took down Arden. Doran was aggroed onto Shakir, but Shakir actually took down the Doran. In my other replays, my Ludovic was surviving there, so... Well, this is the rank 5 player. So let's go ahead and try that again. Okay, so we could attack Tunechi, but I do want to showcase against Eironn. The other two people are my guildmates. All three of these are my guildmates. I wanted this to be an anti-Eironn team showcase, so we'll go ahead and fight against Costella. So this defensive team is actually a more common defensive team, consisting of Haywin and Damien. Alright, so let's go ahead and try that again. I'm kind of wondering if I need to change up the formation a little bit. I think this could be okay. Actually, what we could do, let me try something here. Oh, actually, no, I can't do that. Well, actually, technically I could, but it would be something like this. Actually, no, I think this is still the best. Because I don't want the opposing Doran to attack my back row. Okay, so let's just do it this way. We'll slow it down a little bit. Okay, so once again, Shakir is aggroed onto Doran. Shakir jumps over, starts... Yeah, so that's really nice because Doran hopefully turns around. Well, he doesn't here, but... Okay, so we took down the Eironn. Okay, Shakir took down Doran. He's reviving, which allows Doran to redirect. Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we won again. I mean, these are tough battles. Okay, so what happened there? This time our Ludovic survived. Let me watch the playthrough. So I noticed that with this kind of positioning and with the opposing Eironn doing his vortex, Shakir ends up retargeting onto Doran. I kind of wish that the opposing Doran would change positions or change directions. It always seems like, yeah, Doran does that. Yeah, but actually my Doran was able to survive and take out the opposing Eironn after absorbing the opposing Doran's high damage. Unfortunately, the Scarlita takes out our Talene. But, I mean, this is the power of Shakir. Shakir is actually the glue that holds the team together because Shakir, he is really the best anti-Eironn hero in my opinion. Alright, let's keep going. So we've won we've had 2 victories there where Now at rank 8. Okay, we'll continue the climb. Okay, these are all my teammates or alliances. Ooh. Okay, so here's another Eironn team we can fight against. Alright, so let's go ahead and... What I'm thinking now actually is maybe moving her here. Let's try that. Because I don't want Talene to die. I wonder how this will change. It's always good to experiment. Ooh. Okay, good. Actually, well, this could be bad as well. Let's see. Oh, that's not good. The Thorn redirected onto Ludovic. Shoot. Okay, that's good. Huh. Actually, repositioning did help a little bit. It's really hard to say. There seems to... I'll need to fine-tune the formation a little bit there. Okay, let's go ahead and replay that to see how that worked. So initially, I was happy about the positioning because the Thorn here, the opposing Thorn is facing away from my Ludovic, which was what I wanted. But... yeah, and then the opposing Eironn vacuumed. My Shakir jumped over. Talene died again. And then the Thorn redirected onto my Ludovic, which I was really scared about. But my Ludovic did survive that. My Thorn took out... Thorn in combination with Shakir helped out a lot. But the good thing is that this time my Talene did not get yeeted off the map by an opposing Scarlita. Okay, I mean, I guess with all 5 heroes alive, that was probably my cleanest fight. Okay, let's go ahead and try this again. So notice that we haven't dropped a set yet against an opposing Eironn team. Okay, so we could fight this one again. You can use the blue on Talene so she becomes anti-CC for 15 seconds. That's true, that's true. I just value the confining spell so much. Being able to confine 3 enemies at a given time just buys me so much time. Okay, so... Is there anything I would do differently here? One thing I could try doing is moving my Shakir a little further forwards. This guarantees that my Shakir goes against the Eironn. But I mean, Eironn's vortexing all my heroes, so it's kind of Monka there. But let's go ahead and give it a try. We'll find a team formation that is optimal. Ooh, my Shakir redirected onto Thorn. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It does allow my Talene to be a little bit safer. Ooh, okay. Very nice. Ooh, I think we found a formation that could work quite well. And I did notice that my Shakir actually protected my Scarlita because the opposing Scarlita wasn't able to get past to hurt my Scarlita there. Ooh, okay, so my Scarlita yeeted the Scarlita off the map. Okay, so another clean victory here. So, you know, one thing that I wasn't expecting is that Talene actually still dies fairly quickly, and my Talene didn't do as much in this fight. But one thing I really liked about this positioning was that my Shakir did a very good job of creating space between the opposing Thorn as well as my Talene. And Talene can handle Eironn quite well. And so now it's like my Shakir versus their Thorn. So his Thorn actually does the X slash on my Thorn, which allows my Thorn to KO the Eironn. And then my Talene proceeds to KO the Chariot. And Shakir does a very good job of making the opposing Scarlita face away from my Ludovic, while also serving as a barrier between that opposing Scarlita as well as my Scarlita. My Scarlita yeets an enemy off the map, retargets onto the opposing Scarlita, yeets that Scarlita off the map, and then we finish off the Damien. So quite powerful. We haven't dropped a set yet with this team. Seems to be working quite well. By the way, Turtle, I sent you a replay with Soren Shakir that maybe can counter Anti-Eironn. In the replay, I use the Cascade, but can be replaced by the blue for fast cast. Thank you, Mako. In the future, I do want to do a showcase with Soren, maybe, because I haven't touched Soren since I pulled him, but I think some people pulled on him and are looking for a way to run him. So we'll definitely check that out and we'll play test that. Thank you, Mako. All right, let's go ahead and keep going. Let's keep climbing here. So Alucard again. Let's see if we can drop him out of top 5. Okay, so this is kind of a rematch here, except we've refined our team formation. We want to keep Talene alive for as long as possible. That way she can do her insane damage. Okay, so yeah, Shakir Thorn redirects as expected. So it's Talene versus Eironn here. Okay, enters wolf mode, now has leech rate. Okay, good. Oh god, Talene. Okay, Talene dies, unfortunately. Talene revives. Oh, this is bad. Who did she? Yeah, she probably yeeted Talene off, yep. Okay, we take out the Chariot. Okay, but we take out the Eironn. Yeah. There are some people who say that Scarlita counters Talene, which is true in some cases if you don't have a way to protect your Talene. I'm trying to figure out how... So Talene got vacuumed twice. Okay, so Shakir... Yep. I do think Shakir creating a barrier to, yeah, see, that second ultimate caused a lot of problems. It caused a lot of problems. But, you know, the thing is that even if one of my allies get KO'd, it does make the enemy prone to another win condition, like my Scarlita. My Scarlita yeeted so many enemies off the map. My Shakir took down the opposing Scarlita, which was nice. Alright, so let's go ahead and try another battle here. Okay, let's see if we can fight Alucard again. That would be nice. Okay, I guess we'll fight... Oh, there's Alucard. Okay, so let's fight him again. Okay, here we go. So one thing I'm kind of curious about is if we do something like this, how it will change things. Actually, if I move her further back, what would happen? I'm actually not really sure. Let's change one variable at a time. Okay. Yeah, see, this is the power of confining spell. Both of ours activated. It makes it so that 3 of the enemies cannot act for a certain time. I think that is just too powerful of an ability to switch to anything else. Oh god. Same thing again, Talene gets... Yeah, I need to find a solution to this. This is a huge problem. Oh god. Oh, he went... Okay, this time the opposing Scarlita went the opposite way. except we lost our Scarlita, but Talene is now free to do her thing. So that's the thing. It seems to me it's either you sacrifice Talene or you sacrifice Scarlita. It seems to be hard to keep both alive there, and that's I think. Let me go ahead and replay that. That's why I think it's important to have at least 3 win conditions, because when you're facing an opposing Scarlita, the opposing Scarlita can oftentimes take away one of your win conditions. But what I may need to do actually is move Talene to the right side. That way when Eironn vacuums twice, she moves to the left. I think that might be the play. Yeah, because I cannot have Talene keep being killed by Thorn like that. My Scarlita does pick up the KO against Thorn, which is nice, but then his Scarlita kills my Scarlita. But then the combination of my Talene and Shakir is able to pick off Scarlita quite comfortably there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do... Yep, I still have one more attempt. Let's find Alucard again, and I do want to try something out. If I can find him. Ooh. Okay, there's Alucard. 1 mil power, what comp did he have P4s? He has P1s. Yeah, he's about the same. Actually, my power level is a bit higher than him. But he has Paragon 1 Damien, I don't. Well, he's using all Paragon 1s, and my Talene, my Ludovic are not Paragoned at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to move Talene here. That way she gets vacuumed there, hopefully. We'll see. So this could be a little risky, but let's give it a try. I'm just curious how to position Talene so that she gets out of Thorn's way, the opposing Thorn's way. Okay, hopefully the opposing Eironn will vortex Thorn or Talene out of the way. Nope, my Talene still dies. I just cannot shoot. Ludovic's about to die. Okay, we took out the opposing Thorn with the Scarlita Yeet. Shakir's about to easily pick off Arden, and then Talene picks off Eironn. Yeah. Oh, and actually all 5 of my heroes survived there. Okay, very nice. So I still need to play around with the formation. You guys can as well if you own all these heroes. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up. I'm sorry that I was still experimenting with the formation throughout the video, but as you can see, this team is very resilient. If you are having a hard time against a Thorin, Scarlita, Eironn, Damien, Haywin, or Damien Arden comp, then you can give this a try. I do believe that the confining spell is the most important. The nice thing about Talene is that even if she dies, so long as she doesn't get yeeted off the map by an opposing Scarlita, she will come back, so don't worry too much. As you can see in this fight, Scarlita did die again from a Thorn Yeet. I just cannot avoid it for some reason. However, she was able to come back and finish the match. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video.